have been working behind the scenes on some personal developments, but also working on a couple of professional developments, also known as new products now available on our website, thelemonsaid.com, and special holiday episodes. This episode is very special to my family and I because I would like to officially update you that after all the physical pain and heartache we endured in the making of previously launched episodes, which served as a foundational piece for building the Lemon Said, I am now successfully 6 months pregnant with a healthy little human. To commemorate this life event, we've invited first-time mom, CEO, and founder of Healing Mama Co. to talk to us about labor, delivery, and postpartum care. This episode is bittersweet for so many personal reasons related to my fertility story, but also because Healing Mama Co. will only be in business for 24 more short hours, and we have a limited time offer for all of you mamas and partners out there, so hear me out. Today's CEO recognized a lack of care and support for childbirth and postpartum, which led her to find ways to raise the standard of care that pregnant mamas and partners receive. She has backpacked through 58 countries, and her infant accompanied her in 7 countries, which paved the path to revolutionizing the childbirth industry. We do not have a lot of time to make this announcement as the clock is ticking, but Healing Mama Co. is offering 50% off their entire website for 24 more hours before they officially close their doors to welcome new opportunities. Tune in to this episode right now, run over to healingmamaco.com and purchase the best bag for you and or your birthing partner. Type in promo code CLOSING50 at checkout on their website, and off we go. I don't want to waste any more time, so let's jump into the most important parts of this episode. Welcome, Rhowena, Adolfo, Patel. Please tell us what Healing Mama Co. can do for us pregnant mamas and birthing partners in the next 24 hours.
Let's go through bedside and vagina stuff, okay? And vagina stuff qualifies for cesarean birth and vaginal births. Okay, so first thing I'm going to go through with you in your washroom bundle is a lot of moms don't know the sequence of use between all of their postpartum bleeding protection items.
I definitely don't.
Yeah, so let's go through that. Now, have you heard of the word lochia? Did they share that with you during
No.
our prenatal class?
No.
Do you have more prenatal classes coming up?
No, this was it.
God damn.
Let me just check in with our audio guy who is the father of this child. Do you
remember the
that
word lochia? Bleeding? Lochia blood?
I didn't hear that.
No?
No,
All
I
right.
don't think it was covered.
It's all great. Okay, please don't share where you had your prenatal class.
I won't.
It's all good. They did the best that they could.
I wasn't there for like an hour, so.
And
I fell asleep.
I don't think. No, I don't think it was covered in that point.
Good. Well, I have such a deep love and appreciation for educators, and educators educate what they know. And so if they're not being trained or taught the information that we really need to know because our healthcare system is 100% not providing it to us, then we can't knock them for not sharing something they were not trained on or educated on.
Right.
So you got me. You got Rowena. You've got Healing Mama Co. to do all those things and to have those conversations.
Thank goodness.
So good. Okay. So let's talk about lochia and what that is. So lochia is the specific type of blood that you have after birth. This is true for a cesarean birth. This is true for a vaginal birth. Humans coming out, you're having lochia no matter what. First thing is, we're not putting anything in our vagina to suck up this. No, Tam, I had a mama ask me, I'm just going to put a tampon. I'm like, no, nothing is going up when something has just come out. So, lochia is a combination of 3 things. It is mucus, it is tissue, and it's blood. So you can imagine those 3 things are coming out of you simultaneously. So this type of blood is thicker, heavier, and darker than any type of menstruation blood that you will have ever experienced up to that point. And so some women's lochia bleeding lasts longer, others are shorter. Everyone has a various amount of days that their lochia postpartum bleeding will last, but everyone gets it. Nobody is an exception to this rule. And so you need items to suck all that blood up, because one, we don't want to have to clean our sheets, our clothes, our chairs, our cars with blood. It's any male who's ever had to experience that is not a fun thing to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have the postpartum products that, one, we know our hospital system is going to provide, and then also what is available in the market today. So you get a minimum of 5 hospital-grade mesh underwear. In the ultimate bag, you get 8. So you have 8 hospital-grade mesh underwear in here. So a couple tips for this. If you feel that one is, you just don't feel supported enough that it's going to hold everything up, you put 2 on, right? And these are designed to be disposable, but I will let you know that many moms have been able to wash that. If you even want to deal with that, some moms have been able to wash it, dry it, and get 2 to 3 washes and uses out of one pair. Okay. Now there are other companies who have come out with beautiful versions of mesh underwear. We have an amazing brand at Healing Mama Co. called Moon Mama. We also have the Freedom Mom postpartum underwear. I mean, there's some beautiful postpartum options out there. We give you the hospital grade in your bag, okay? And those upgrades are available when you purchase your bag.
I was just about to ask that. So I know that when you're purchasing it on the website, you have the option to upgrade it from the hospital version if you'd like.
If you'd like. And
great.
and get the beautiful version of it, because that's an availability as well. So if you feel like one pair is not giving you the support that you need, then you double it up or triple it up, however way that works for you. Now, what you're going to start with is not this. You're not going to start with your mesh underwear, because that immediate post-birth blood is going to be the thickest and the heaviest that it's going to be. And you need to be able to rest and not have to constantly go to the washroom and have to change and do all that. So we give you a pack of mama diapers, right? This is not diapers for baby. I mean, mama's going to go home in diapers, baby's going to go home in diapers. We're going to share. This is going to be the first mom-baby matching outfit. So you get your mama diapers, and this is what you'll most likely start with. I want to say at minimum for the first 3 days, and it can be up to the first 2 weeks. Really depends on how your Loki is happening for you. And what you want to do is you want to watch the blood. Your doctor, your midwife, or your nurse will tell you how much blood is considered severe and we need to check for hemorrhaging. And then if you are not fitting those criterias, then you have standard lochia, postpartum bleeding.
Do you feel that women with subchorionic hematoma might be at a higher risk to bleed more postpartum?
It's a possibility. It really, you have to look at how your body handled birth. Did you have interventions where they had to use forceps? Did they have to use a vacuum? There could be more trauma there than somebody who didn't have to use that.
Okay.
You would need to really consult with your healthcare team to know and check you. Make sure they actually check you to see if you are hemorrhaging. And the criteria is very clear. It's pools of blood where you're constantly having to change every 30 to 40 minutes. That is a red flag. You please get that checked, and your midwife, your OB, they will check you. You are not allowed to leave their presence for those first few hours because they need to make sure that you are not hemorrhaging. That is the last thing that they want happening. So you're going to be in your diapers. And then once that blood has subsided, where it's no longer a dark, thick, red consistency, that's when you're going to transition to your mesh underwear and maternity pads. We give you Natural Care's organic maternity pads. Now, do you know the difference between a maternity pad and a menstruation pad?
No.
There's a big difference. So, you want to take a guess? I know I'm quizzing you right now. Just
I think
any
they're
ideas?
A lot bigger.
And that is a great response. That's a great answer. The answer is no. There are some amazingly huge overnight pads now for periods that exist, and it would be almost comparable to a maternity pad, but yeah, they're slightly bigger. Yes.
Would they be more absorbent as well?
Also, not necessarily, because there are women who really have just an incredible amount of blood during their periods, right? Me. So, right. So maternity pads, the main difference is, one, you also want to look at the material. There's a lot of amazing natural products in period pads now. Specifically for maternity pads, you want to make sure that they're as much of a natural material as possible, organic cotton, anything along those lines, because it's an open wound, especially if you had a vaginal birth. You have an open wound, not just your vagina. You are dealing with actual wound care at that point. What's most important, though, is maternity pads are designed to be seamless. So if you look at period pads, they've got little holes all over them. And if you are a mama who had stitches, or we're just broke up down there and it is just a mess, the last thing we need when we are changing our pad is for it to snag. We don't know. I don't want that for any woman, any postpartum mama out there to have a snagging vagina to their pad.
That would be awful.
That would be the pain, unnecessary pain. So we're going to make sure we invest in maternity pads. You can also add more maternity pads. In our Ultimate, you get 20 pairs of maternity pads, and then you can always add more. And then we also give you hospital grade underpads. You can also call these puppy pads. And
the
and
little
that kind of,
liners. So
the
does
liners.
That go on your bed?
Yes, you'd put this on your bed, or you can even put. So if your water breaks at home and you are flushing out, you put on one of your maternity pads or your diapers so that the car doesn't get messed up
on the way
to where you are giving birth. And then you can put this down as well if you don't have the opportunity to grab a diaper and put that on, or a maternity pad.
That's a great tip.
And then also, yes, in bed, couches, wherever you could be spending the most time sitting or laying. If you have any leftover, so this is a pack of 5 that you get. If you have any leftover, you can, and again, every tip I'm sharing with you is written down in those cards or in your Healing Mama Guide. If you want to give your baby no diaper time and just let their genitals just air out, just put a puppy pad. Put one of these underpads down, should you have any left over, and hopefully this will suck up anything.
That's such a good idea.
That comes out of baby. If it is projectile, I can't promise that's going to be big enough to catch all that. But it'll hopefully keep majority of the floors clean wherever baby's having no diaper time. So that's an option. Now, one thing that we also give you in here, and this is something that mamas and partners need to keep in mind. Our babies, when they're earthbound, never used their senses before. And one of the most sensitive sense is the sense of smell. And did they talk about being unscented postpartum in your prenatal class? I'm so sorry. I am not doing a good job of promoting this.
I did hear her say something around don't have anything scented, but only because nurses have allergies.
What? We're not doing a great job.
That's what I heard.
At the education that you received. Again,
I will not share.
Every prenatal program is different. Every educator is different. Okay, let's talk about this being unscented. Okay. Since our baby has never smelled before, every sense of smell that they are now encountering for the very first time is going to be a brand new, overwhelming experience for this little human that's never done this before.
Right.
So anything that your baby wants is quite literally coming out of your body. They want to smell your smells, your sweats, your BO, all of the just give that to them. If it bothers you, then maybe it's bothering them, but then do something about it. But what that means is we want to keep everything that goes on our body, on our partner's body, to be as unscented as possible. So we actually work with a company called Sithi Soap, and they provide a handmade olive oil soaps by refugee people in Jordan. And so it's a social enterprise company. And so each of these soaps are completely unscented. I actually used their soap as my shampoo because I didn't have unscented shampoo. And I just put that on, like my face wash, everything was just this bar of soap. So you get a bar of soap and you get a container to keep it in. If your hospital or birth center has a shower or bathing facility, then you can definitely use this and have that with you and have your partner use it as well. So whoever's going to be doing skin to skin, who's going to be holding baby, be as unscented as possible. And if you could do this for the first 3 to 4 weeks, so baby has a good month to really acclimatize to the different smells in its environment, this will be and it also gives them an opportunity to not get kind of blasted into the world of scents and those chemicals if it is a chemical-based scent. So moisturizers, shampoos, no perfumes, no colognes. Should we have an opportunity to talk about the birthing partner bag, you'll see we also give you a stick of unscented natural deodorant in there, because we're not going to bring in some... I don't even know what men's deodorant is. Is it Axe? Do we still have Axe? Do we have Old Spice? Old Spice. Okay, so it's still a thing. We're not bringing that to the hospital. We're not bringing that around baby, at least for the first 3 to 4 weeks. And so we give you the items so that you can do that without having to go out and like find it and try to figure out why you're doing this or how long. So we give you those details. Okay, so that's
really,
just washroom.
I need to get a partner bag for the audio guy. Oh, and I should also clarify at this point that the audio guy didn't just knock me up. We were partners before venturing into this business.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yes, exactly. This was a partnership pre the lemon scent. Love
just to clarify.
So everyone is so new. We're good. This is great. So that is just, lochia bleeding, being able to handle babies' first senses. Okay? We're good with that?
Yeah,
Does that feel
that's
okay?
great.
Yeah,
that's great.
So all of that is
so
in your
helpful.
tip card. And it's also going to be in your Healing Mama guide. Now, let's talk about vaginal healing. If you end up having a vaginal birth, this is what we need.
While you get the vaginal healing stuff out, I actually want to comment on the fact that I did have to check in with my hospital for the padsicle situation and make sure that they have an actual freezer.
Yep. Perfect.
So they do. They actually have different freezers for different rooms. They're dedicated. You just need to put your name on it and make sure...
Oh, it's a name card right there.
There you go.
Just
They've
you
thought
put
of
your
everything.
Put your name on there.
That's perfect.
And we tell you here, so we're just going to talk about padsicles for a quick second.
Yes.
We tell you right here, make sure that your hospital has access to a freezer before you take this, because once they thaw out, you cannot reuse them.
Right.
Okay. So if you do not have access, you leave them in your freezer at home.
Okay.
If you do have access, you please take them with you. And yes, the card that tells you what's inside is also a name card. And I'm also going to put it out there as well. If there is a postpartum mama who did not have padsicles prepared and we forgot to write our name here, and you notice that some of your padsicles are missing, I'm just going to say sharing is caring.
Please ask.
And just... we're going to share the love, and hopefully we're going to let whoever this is owned by know that we're just going to take a couple of padsicles. But also know that hospitals do have a chemical-based one where you snap and it freezes, but it will not have the healing ingredients and healing components in it versus what we have in our padsicle bundle. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We're just going to keep going. Okay, so I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. And that is a tip that is also written down. We're so analog as a company because we just don't have the time for apps to run out of battery and our phones to die on us in the middle of everything, because we may be playing, that playlist, that birthing playlist, or the hypnobirthing music in the background. We could be using our phone for other things. We need to just have this at our fingertips.
Agreed.
So for the VJJ cleansing bundle, you are going to get your opposite of this ketchup bottle. So, this is a peri-wash bottle that the hospitals will give you. We also do sell this. If you want the classical version, you can stock up on these. These are super cheap. They're like less than $3 to get one. So you can have this in other washrooms you have in your home. Our tip, which we do tell you in your VJJ pamphlet, is depending on how many washrooms you have in your home, it would be a good idea to have a vagina cleansing bottle in each of those washrooms. So if you're downstairs, you don't have to go upstairs because that's where your peri-wash bottle is, or vice versa.
Okay.
If it's downstairs, you don't want to have to go downstairs from being upstairs to use the washroom because your VJJ bottle is there. So we give you the ergonomic upside down peri-wash bottle. You get 2 spout heads. You get the curved one, which is the one you see here, and then you also get a straight one. Okay, so we also carry 2 other brands. We also do have the Freedom Mom Peri-Wash bottle, but it is about 300 ml. We give you this is a 500 ml bottle. Even not giving birth, 300 ml water is not enough for anything down there. So I can't even imagine after birth. So, and our bottle is transparent as well. And I'm going to tell you why. So this gives you the opportunity to use it for yourself, but the straight spout head, which I'll share first, you can also use this on newborn's bum. So, sorry, Mike. You can use the straight spout head. You just pop off the curved one and put the straight on. And if you do not want to give your baby a bath for the first few days, earthbound, let that, all of that, the cottage cheese after birth. I mean, this is what it looks like in my head. But all of that cottage, we're going to call it cottage cheese because this mama cannot remember the actual name of all it starts with a, okay.
Cottage cheese.
The cottage cheese. It's like right here, ladies and gentlemen. But all of you who are listening will know what I'm talking about. So if you do not want to give baby a bath right away, you can use the straight spout head on to help clean baby's bum, especially for that first few poops, the meconium poop that comes out of baby. It is sticky as F. And if you don't want to waste a whole box of wipes, I mean, just put the straight spout head on and just go ahead and cleanse baby's bum. So 1 bottle, baby's bum, and mama's bum, all the bums. So useful. Okay. So in this pamphlet, you're going to read the pamphlet that we give you. We give you all of the tips on how to use your washroom visits to help boost your postpartum healing. Okay. Especially if we experience hemorrhoids, if we were stitched, if we were torn, if, just messed up down there. No matter what, we're going to be swollen. So what we're going to do is we're going to use every washroom visit to heal down there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the alcohol-free witch hazel. So in the ultimate bag, you get the larger size, which is the 355 ml bottle. In the essential bag, you get the smaller size, which is the 89 ml. So what you're going to do is you are going to fill your vajayjay bottle up to the prescribed amount with this alcohol-free witch hazel, and then you're also going to grab your herbal sitz bath. This is Matter Company. Remember I told you the story of the first vendor that came into Healing Mama Co. This is them at the one-of-a-kind show at the Toronto Convention Center. So this is Substance Mom by Matter Company. So this is their herbal sitz bath. This one pouch can do 2 liters of herbal sitz bath. It is incredible how much you can get out of this one sachet. So what you're going to do, audio guy, here's a tip. Just pay attention to this one tip. Just heads up. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this herbal sitz bath once mama is home. Or if the odds of being able to do this on delivery day are slim, but if you have a long labor and you're able to brew this up, start brewing it up. And again, you would steep it, just follow the instructions that are on the back. And then what you do is you put this into an airtight vessel, whether it's a jug, either something that's glass would be ideal, not plastic, and then you keep it in your fridge. What you will do is you will get your alcohol-free witch hazel and you'll get your herbal sitz bath. And every time you hear mama flush that toilet after baby is out, you're just going to run back to that washroom, grab her vagina bottle, and then refill her bottle with those super amazing healing ingredients. So that is one less thing for you to do in postpartum, and it is one of the most amazing ways for a partner to support the postpartum healing physical recovery for mama after birth. And you just do that with every single washroom. It's just listen, like, was that the upstairs washroom? Was that the downstairs washroom? I'm just going to run back to that washroom, and I give you permission to call audio guy. Like, babe, my vagina bottle's empty. Where's all my stuff? Rowena said you needed to refill this all the time. And then all you would have to do, mama, is fill the rest of your bottle with warm water, and then you just squirt away.
Okay, so how much of the witch hazel and the sitz bath actually needs to go into the bottle?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just going to read exactly what's in here. I do know it offhand, but I want to give you exactly what we've done. So you're going to fill up to the 100 ml line. So like I said, our bottle is see-through, and there are notches up to the 500 ml.
Perfect.
So what you're going to do is you're going to fill up to that line with the herbal sitz bath blend that you've brewed up ahead of time, and then you're going to do 1 to 2 tablespoons of the alcohol-free witch hazel.
Okay. And the rest is just warm water.
The rest is warm water.
Okay. Perfect.
So all of those instructions are in here for you, so you don't have to figure this out of what to do, and also there for partner as well. So partner doesn't have to go to Dr. Google and figure out what to do. Now, since you brought up patsicles, I do want to talk about it really quick because a lot of people still have not heard of patsicles, which is fair because, again, it's not a part of standardized care for maternal health. Patsicles are one of the number one ways to heal post-birth, especially if we experienced hemorrhoids, stitching. Regardless, we're going to be sore and swollen down there if we had a vaginal birth. I'm also going to share how we're going to use our patsicles. If you had our ultimate bag and you had an emergency C-section, I'm going to tell you how you're going to use your patsicles for cesarean care as well. There's nothing in this bag that you cannot use regardless of how your baby came out. You're going to use everything in here. So for the patsicles, we give it to you in this cute little, technically this is a lunch bag because it is also insulated, so nice and functional. In here, like I said earlier, in the ultimate bag, you're going to get the larger bottle in our essential patsicle bundle that we sell separately. Let me also premise this by saying, if you don't want to get one of our bags, our labor and postpartum bags, you can buy the individual bundles on their own. So we do sell this essential patsicle bundle, and we also sell an ultimate patsicle. And the ultimate comes exactly how every ultimate is in this company. Everything's just bigger and more in our ultimate package. So there's a separate pamphlet. There's a pamphlet for everything. So we are seriously so analog. I don't know how to emphasize this enough that we are so analog as a company. And ideally, you keep this or you share it with the next expecting mom in your world so they have these details. This is not something that we envision you having to put into the recycling right away because the information is so integral that it's worth passing along to the next pregnant person in your life. And so you just follow the instructions here. And partners, if you have never opened, audio guy, if you've never opened a pad in your life, we quite literally give you step-by-step instructions of how to open a pad for the very first time. And keep
Not
it
like a bag of chips?
No, it's absolutely not like a bag of chips, but I love that type of analogy. And so yes, we give you step-by-step instructions on how to prepare that. Now what we will advocate for at Healing Mama Co. is do-it-yourself patsicles. And not that we want to make your life with more work and give you more things to do, but we're going to do that. We're going to 100% do that. And we're going to do it because, one, your vagina has just experienced the most trauma it will hopefully ever experience in its life. And we need to be able to treat that trauma with the first aid that it not only deserves, but it 100% needs. Because if we do not care for the trauma of birth appropriately, it will come back to us in ways that will unfold years later after birth. And so in your patsicle bundle, you're going to get your alcohol-free witch hazel. You are also going to get your high-grade aloe vera gel. We work with 2 amazing aloe vera companies. This one is Lily of the Desert. We also do have Jason Naturals as our aloe vera companies. And so this is so what you want to look for in an aloe vera gel is anything that is 90% or higher in its grade. And this is the 99% that's in our patsicle bundle. Don't use After Sun. It's got chemicals in it. Just don't use After Sun. It is meant for a totally different use of aloe vera. We just need high grade, simple aloe vera gel. And then you will also get, there should be one more thing in here, and it's still in its package. So good. I'm just going to open this if that's okay.
Sure.
This is Ella's actual ultimate bag that we're going through. And then you are also going to get a lavender essential oil. So the carrier for this is actually going to be your aloe vera gel, if anyone was wondering. And then to make life even easier, we give you an application bottle. So you don't have to figure out how much to put. It quite literally says fill the alcohol-free witch hazel up to this point, ladies and gentlemen, nice and simple. And then we tell you in the pamphlet how many drops to put of the essential oil, and then we give you instructions on how to actually prepare everything. So there's a few options that will work best for you or your partner. And I look at you because most likely you're going to be making more, because the ones that you make ahead of time, you could do together so you can figure out how to do it. And then when she's in recovery and she needs more, then you'll be the one to make more. You would just need to purchase more maternity pads if you've run out of maternity pads. And so in terms of how much to have on hand, okay, what you're going to use this for, one, is to heal. So the alcohol-free witch hazel, and please, I keep saying alcohol-free, but I need to emphasize this. If your padsicles are hurting your vagina, if your vajayjay bottle, when you squeeze it, is hurting your vagina, meaning it is causing you pain, it's because you have the alcohol version of witch hazel. Please, oh please, please get the alcohol-free version for your sweet, beautiful vagina. We don't need to give it any more pain than it already just experienced, okay? And so you're going to use, or the witch hazel within there is going to draw out the bacteria, draw all of the toxins out of the area. The aloe vera is going to soothe and cool the vagina. And then the lavender is going to also soothe and have a calming effect as well. And then if we ended up having a cesarean birth, okay, and we made padsicles ahead of time. So we made 10 to 20 padsicles ahead of time. The ingredients in your padsicle bundle for the essential is going to be enough to make at least 20 to 30 padsicles. You just need to buy more padsicles. Sorry, maternity pads. Yes. You get 10 maternity pads in the pack. In our ultimate, it's enough to make 40 to 60 padsicles. So that's the difference in quantity of the size of ingredients that you're going to get. If you end up having a cesarean, what you're going to do with your padsicles is you're going to still use them, because we're not going to throw them out, okay? Because these are still amazing postpartum tools to use. So we're going to grab, first, we're going to wait until the doctor has given us the okay that our wound has healed over, which could be 4 weeks for some mamas, could be 6 weeks for some mamas. Once you've gotten the okay and you're starting to experience the redness, the itch, like if anyone has ever had stitches in your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no difference with a cesarean birth, except this time it's right on your the lower part of your belly. So it's going to affect your mobility. So what you do is you're going to get your padsicle, and then you're going to do what we call the cold and hot therapy. So the cold therapy is you're going to take the pads when you're feeling the itch, the soreness, the burning. Basically, same thing you're feeling in your vagina. The itch, the soreness, the burning on the vagina, you're going to grab a padsicle and put that on.
Do you open it up?
Yeah, so you're going to actually build the padsicles, and you're going to open them up. You're going to put the ingredients on, and you're going to follow our step-by-step instructions.
Okay, so it is direct contact.
Direct contact, yeah.
Okay,
and so for vaginal use, you will wear it like a pad. And you'll wear it like a pad in your mesh underwear, or you'll put it in your mama diapers. For cesarean care, you're going to open the pad and you're going to put it directly on the wound. Again, once the doctor has given you the okay that it is safe to do so, you want to keep that wound as dry as possible so that the skin can heal before applying anything to it. And then what that's going to do is going to do the same thing in the vaginal area in terms of drawing out the toxin, drawing out all of the impurities, and getting it to really boost its healing with the aloe and all of that good stuff that I mentioned for the vagina is now going to happen for a cesarean wound, okay? And you're going to use those interchangeably. Now, in terms of how many to prepare, you want to prepare 20 to 30 going into birth. If you really look at a 24-hour period, and you wear a padsicle for about 45 minutes to 90 minutes at a time, we could be wearing one every 3 hours, one every 4 hours, depending on the level of soreness and trauma in our vaginal area. So if you look at a day, we're looking at anywhere between, it could be 5 padsicles in a day, if that's what it is for the first few days. It's not going to be forever. This is only for the immediate postpartum period. I hope that was helpful. Did you have any questions on all that?
It was very helpful for me. Thank you very much.